Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the April 19th Muscatine City Council meeting. Cinda, will you please do the roll call?
Councilmember Spread?
Present.
Harvey?
Present.
Rockert?
Present.
Saucedo?
Present.
Brackett?
Present.
Fitzgerald?
Present.
Malcolm?
Present.
7 present, 0 absent, Your Honor.
Thank you. Will you please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out. We've got a little bit better weather this week than last, at least today. We're going to move on down tonight's agenda, and we are on 4A. I think, is it Jim Edgman? Are you going to be the one who's going to talk to us about the 2018 All-Star Community Award recognition? No?
Sorry about that.
Well, you sent it over, right? So who did you have in mind?
CRS set in, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Mayor,
Yes.
Council, see, that's what happens when you get something on the agenda way early. You have a chance to
You
forget about it. If I remember right,
Okay.
this is off the cuff because I didn't review anything. That is from League of Municipal League of Cities, something like that, and that is just an award for the trail that is being submitted, and certainly, as far as we are concerned, we think it's worthy of it and needs to be submitted. But one of the requirements of that is that the City Council is aware that that award is being submitted for. Period. Very simple.
Yes, I think we all
So-
are all aware.
If all of you would nod your head in an affirmative
Yes.
matter,
Yes.
we're all aware of it. I think that is the end of the action.
Need a blessing or anything?
No.
It will be well-deserved, Jim. Everywhere I go, I hear nothing but good things. Every bi-state meeting I'm at where it's talked
Yeah.
about, it's a great project.
Yep, and we'll just, let's see how we do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The second part of 4 is communications from the citizens. Is there anybody here tonight that has anything that they would like to talk to council about that's not currently on tonight's agenda? Hearing nothing, we're going to go ahead and move forward to number 5, which is the consent agenda. The following items are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda tonight, which includes items 6A and B, items 8A through K, items 9A and B, items 12A through C, and tonight's bills totaling $3,653,089.29.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Brackett with a second by Councilwoman Brockert. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The motion carries with all ayes. We're going to move along down to number 9 from the mayor. We have 2 proclamations tonight, and I'm going to start with the Arbor Day. Whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for the planting of trees. And whereas this holiday, called Arbor Day, was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska, and Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world. And whereas trees reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cut heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are a renewable resource giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. And whereas trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community. And whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. And whereas Muscatine has been recognized as a Tree City USA by the National Arbor Day Foundation and desires to continue its tree planting practices. Now, therefore, I, Diana Broderson, Mayor of the City of Muscatine, Iowa, do hereby proclaim April 27 of 2018 as Arbor Day in the City of Muscatine, and I urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands, and further, I urge all citizens to plant trees to gladden the heart and promote the well-being of this and future generations. The second proclamation that we have tonight is about National Preservation Month. Whereas historic preservation is an effective tool for managing growth and sustainable development, revitalizing neighborhoods, fostering local pride, and maintaining community character while enhancing livability. And whereas historic preservation is relevant for communities across the nation, both urban and rural, and for Americans of all ages, all walks of life, and all ethnic backgrounds. And whereas it is important to celebrate the role of history in our lives and the contributions made by dedicated individuals in helping to preserve the tangible aspects of the heritage that has shaped us as a people. Now, therefore, I, Diana Broderson, Mayor of the City of Muscatine, Iowa, do hereby proclaim May of 2018 as National Preservation Month and call upon the people of the City of Muscatine to join their fellow citizens across the United States in recognizing and participating in this special observance. Were you here to accept this? Dr. Meharry, thank you for coming. It is certainly my pleasure.
Thank you for reading the proclamation.
Absolutely.
And your kind words.
There you go.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. We are on number 11A tonight. Presented for City Council's consideration is the first reading of an ordinance amending Code 753B for automated traffic enforcement. This amendment will remove the words "through the marked intersection" from this section of the code. Is there a motion to approve the first reading of this ordinance as submitted?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Spread with a second by Councilman Harvey. Is there any discussion?
I just wanted a little clarification on it. It appears to be mainly just to clean up some wording, probably due to the mobile ATE, and I just wanted to know if that, does this, just to clarify, does this impact anything, make any changes other than what it appears to be?
That's exactly what it's intended to do, is
Okay.
to allow for the mobiles.
Okay, all right, that's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
Hearing no other discussion, Councilman Malcolm, how do you vote?
Yeah, aye.
Councilman Fitzgerald?
Aye.
Councilman Brackett?
Aye.
Councilman Saucedo?
Aye.
Councilwoman Brockert?
Aye.
Councilman Harvey?
Aye.
And Councilman Spread.
Aye.
The motion carries with all ayes. We're on 11B. At the April 5th, 2018 meeting, City Council approved the resolution setting the date and time for receiving bids on the $4,090,000 in general obligation corporate purpose bonds series 2018 for April 19th of 2018 at 10 a.m. Susan Gerlach is here with the Public Financial Management, the city's financial advisor for this particular issue, and she has reviewed the bids received and will make a recommendation for the award at this time.
Yes. Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Good evening.
Today, we received bids for the $4 million General Obligation Corporate Purpose Bond Series 2018. Today, we received 7 bids from over 40 different firms. with the true interest cost, which is the measure for which we measure the successful bid, the kind of the NPR interest rate, APR interest rate. True interest cost ranges from 2.59% to 2.83%, with the first four bids really close together, which is what we want to see. That means there was competition for the bonds today. The pricing that was received today, it was 14 or 0.14% over the AAA MMD, which is the highest credit rating available, which is kind of the index that we measure all of the success of a sale and the interest rates received. So normally the city did get their, the Moody's rating was affirmed at a AA2, and Moody's cited the strong economic development and reinvestment from larger taxpayers in the community, and the strong general fund balances and strong fiscal management of the city as credit strengths for the city. And that AA2 rating resulted in very, very good pricing today. Normally we would see 20 to 25 basis points, and the city priced 14 basis points, so a little bit lower even than we expected. The estimates, when we structured the bonds, we estimated a 3.09%, so we performed much better today in the market. These bonds were restructured a little bit after we received rates today to fit within the city's debt service levy tax rate, the pre-levy that was set for this year, and the anticipated tax rate for next year. And with that, I would entertain any questions that anybody might have.
Council?
Okay, well with that, PFM recommends that the City of Muscatine award the $4,090,000 General Obligation Corporate Purpose Bond Series 2018 to Robert W. Baird & Company, Inc. and Syndicate at a true interest cost of 2.5931%.
Move the approval.
Thank you so much. Do I have a motion to make that approval?
Move the approval.
Councilman Fitzgerald, do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Fitzgerald with a second by Councilman Spread. Any discussion? Hearing none. Councilman Brackett, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Malcolm?
Aye.
Councilman Fitzgerald?
Aye.
Councilwoman Brockert?
Aye.
Councilman Harvey?
Aye.
Councilman Spread?
Aye.
And Councilman Saucedo.
Aye.
The resolution is adopted with all ayes. Thank you so much. 11C. Presented for City Council's consideration is a resolution authorizing the assessment of unpaid abatement costs to private properties. Periodically, the city takes action to assess unpaid nuisance abatement costs to private properties. The nuisance abatement costs for snow, junk, and weed removal total $1,422.18. The administrative fees are $575, and the assessment fees are $1,100. The total fee being requested for assessment at this time totals $3,097.18. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted?
So moved.
Councilman Harvey?
Second.
Councilman Brackett. We have a motion by Councilman Harvey with a second by Councilman Brackett. Is there any discussion?
I just had a random question. I mean, is there a potential that we could do this maybe once a quarter?
No,
When we get
really,
these?
this is a good idea.
Why?
And it comes
Well,
from practical experience.
Let's Councilman, or let's let Dave answer.
This used to be done maybe twice a year,
Okay.
and it got unmanageable when you let it go too many months. At one point, it got to be 15 months behind, and that's when I came in to my position. I said, knowing business, I brought everything forward and got a lot of things up to date. But this was horrendous as what it was back then. So I decided we're going to do this every month and clean it up, because what happens is memory. People forget what it is that they were either assessed or not when it gets out there a quarter or whatever.
Mhm.
But if we
Well,
do it
just-
every month, we're pretty much keeping everybody right in the forefront. That's one of the reasons, as well as cash flow.
There's another,
Councilman Spread, did you have something you
yeah,
wanted
there
to
is
add?
another practical matter, because if you're doing it once every 6 months, or as Dave said, they got behind, it was 12 or 15 months, it was possible for there to be a change in ownership. Somebody bought a house, and after the fact, they get levied an assessment, a lien that they had no idea was out there. So we're better off keeping it current to protect the property owner as well.
That makes sense. It
Your
was,
Honor, may I have a
Yes.
question? Dave, I noticed that a lot of the same names are on these lists from month to month. Does that mean that these folks have not paid up? Or is it just we keep going back and back and back to these people?
They're repeat offenders.
Okay.
The person that's on there last month, for example, was for the nuisance abatement or whatever the case might have been that month. If they happen to show up at this month, it's a new violation. Does that help
Yes, thank you.
clears it up? Okay.
Thank you, Dave. We appreciate it.
thank you, Dave.
Hearing no other discussion. Councilman Brackett, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Malcolm?
Aye.
Councilman Fitzgerald?
Aye.
Councilman Saucedo?
Aye.
Councilman Harvey?
Aye.
Councilman Spread?
Aye.
And Councilwoman Brockert.
Aye.
The resolution is adopted with all ayes. 11D. Presented for City Council's consideration is a resolution approving the contract and bond for the West Hill Storm and Sanitary Sewer Separation Projects, Phase 4. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Saucedo with a second by Councilman Brackett. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Councilman Spread, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Harvey?
Aye.
Councilwoman Brockert?
Aye.
Councilman Saucedo?
Aye.
Councilman Malcolm?
Aye.
Councilman Fitzgerald?
Aye.
And Councilman Brackett.
Aye.
The resolution is adopted with all ayes. We're on 11E. Presented for City Council's consideration tonight is a resolution establishing refuse collection monthly fees for Class 1 and Class 3 domestic waste effective July 1 of 2018. This will increase the monthly rate for regular residential customers from $20 per month to $20.50 per month, and from $15 per month to $15.50 per month for senior citizens. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted?
So moved.
Second.
I'll
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Saucedo with a second by Councilman Malcolm. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Councilman Spread, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Harvey?
Aye.
Councilwoman Brockert?
Aye.
Councilman Saucedo?
Aye.
Councilman Fitzgerald?
Aye.
Councilman Brackett?
Aye.
And Councilman Malcolm.
Aye.
The resolution is adopted with all ayes. 11F. Presented for City Council's consideration is a resolution approving the submission of a Historic Resources Development Program grant for the survey of Fair Oaks Historic District. That's a mouthful. I'm going to say that again. Historic Resources Development Program grant for the survey of Fair Oaks Historic District. The total cost of this project is estimated at $25,868. This grant would fund $17,245, and the remaining $8,623 is proposed to be funded by staff time, city resources, and cash donated from the Friends of the Muscatine Historic Preservation. No city funds will be used for this project. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted?
So moved.
Second.
Second. Councilman Saucedo,
Yes.
was that you?
Yes.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Councilman Malcolm, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Fitzgerald?
Aye.
Councilman Brackett?
Aye.
Councilman Spread?
Aye.
Councilman Harvey?
Aye.
Councilwoman Brockert?
Aye.
And Councilman Saucedo.
Aye.
The resolution is adopted with all ayes. 11G. Presented for City Council's consideration is a request to approve moving the on-street parking on Orange Street from the east side of the street to the west side of the street between 5th and 6th Streets. The Muscatine Traffic Committee received a request from Hy-Vee asking for this change. Parking on the west side of the street would allow for more parking because the parking would not interfere with fire hydrants and alley entry. Is there a motion to approve this request as submitted?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Does this affect any residents?
Mayor and Council. There are 2 residences on the northeast side of the intersection of Orange and 6th Street. They currently park, there's 2 houses there, they park in front of the houses. Talked to Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee said they would talk to them, and they felt that it was better, or they would be fine to park on the opposite side of the street. It also gains spots because there's a fire hydrant on the corner by the alley, and then the alley spot is also blocked, so you gain about 2 spaces there. And so that's the reason that justified it for us.
So Hy-Vee talked to the residents, and and Hy-Vee's telling us that they said it was okay?
Yes, we asked them to do that because the Hy-Vee manager said if it's an issue, we'll talk to them and we'll make sure it's okay. And I was told that it was okay.
Okay.
And we're moving it. We're not reducing parking anyway. We're actually increasing
We
parking.
actually increase it by approximately 2 spaces.
Right. Okay.
Okay,
Any other questions? Thank you, Brian.
thank you.
Hearing no other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The request is approved with all ayes. We're on 11H. Presented for City Council's consideration is a request to accept the Water Quality Initiative Urban Conservation Project Grant for the Iowa Department of Agriculture and Land Stewardship and to enter into the cost share grant contract. At the end of March 2018, Public Works was notified that the grant application was approved and funding for this project can be awarded. The city is required to enter into a contract with the Iowa Department of Agriculture and Land Stewardship prior to funds being distributed. Is there a motion to approve this request as submitted?
So moved, Your Honor.
Second?
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Fitzgerald with a second by Councilman Harvey. Is there any discussion? Hearing nothing, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? The request is approved with all ayes. We're on 11I. Presented for City Council's consideration is a request to submit a state DOT grant application for the airport aviation fuel facility. The current fuel system is 20 years old and is in need of replacement. Carver Aero has made temporary repairs to the pump in order to continue to pump fuel. Additionally, the current fuel lines in place are questionable and have been damaged in the past. The total estimated project cost is $330,000, with 85% of the project being funded by the Iowa DOT and 15% by the city. Is there a motion to approve this request as submitted?
So moved, Your Honor.
Second. We have a motion by Councilwoman Brockert with a second by Councilman Brackett. Is there any discussion?
One quick question. I notice these tanks are going in above ground. Is that common at airports, particularly of our size?
Yeah, I would say that is a common, sorry, Mayor, Council, thank you.
Thank you.
I would say that's a common trend with a majority of fuel tanks, whether it be on farms or airports or things like that. Anything other than a convenience store that needs it underground for size and area limitations. One of the nice things about that is currently with our system, we have piping underground to get to the fuel pumps. With this, everything will be above ground. So we'll be able to do maintenance on the pumping system, on any of the pipes. We'll be able to see if anything's leaking or we're having issues with anything. So it really is a much better system for maintenance and observing any issues with the system.
I assume it'd have to be diked and then protected somehow from an airplane running into it.
Well, there shouldn't be any airplanes run into it. I think we have bigger issues if a airplane is run into. But yes, there's FAA guidance on location of fuel facilities and where you place them on your airfield so that they are protected.
Do we supply just one grade of fuel, or is there several grades?
So at our airport, we have avgas, which is for the general aviation airplanes. So a lot of the, single turbine aircraft, as well as jet fuel, we have down there. And we also have a small tank for car gas for mowers and stuff like that.
So there'd be 3 tanks involved.
Our tanking system will only be 2 tanks. We'll have we're planning for about a 7,000 gallon, or 6,000 gallon tank for avgas, and then a 14,000 gallon tank for jet fuel.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Did our tank sizes change?
We are going a little bit smaller with our tank size. We have had discussions with Carver Aero on what they need for it, and with Avgas, they usually get half tanker loads. So they recommended the 6,000, and with their jet fuel, they get full tanker loads. So the 14,000 worked well for them, as well as we have a truck on site for both Avgas and for jet fuel that hold 2,000 gallons each. So they have backup fuel there.
And I couldn't tell from, are these tanks within a tank, since they're gonna be above ground?
Yeah, so they're little dual wall tanks. Yep. And our recommendation at this point is to get one large tank that's split between a 6,000 gallon and a 14,000 gallon. So one tank altogether.
Good. Okay, that's all I have.
Thank you, Adam.
Thank you, Council.
Hearing no other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Request is approved with all ayes. We are on down to 14, communications from council. Councilman Spread, do you have anything tonight?
Nothing at this time, thank you.
Councilman Fitzgerald?
Nothing at this time, Your Honor.
Councilman Harvey?
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Councilman Saucedo?
I had talked with Mr. Edgemont and Brian, I don't know which one. I kind of wanted to just do maybe a 2-minute update on the Riverfront, if that's possible. Kind of give us a little bit of information of when we're going to have the section that's closed down on Mississippi Drive, and then when the residents can see the 2nd Street to Mississippi Drive opened up again.
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Council.
I have I have my notes. So I know
Mayor,
what we need to
Council, there's 3 pieces. We are, tomorrow we will be 1 week into the 2-week closure that goes from Broadway to Chestnut. And that closure was necessary to tie up all the loose ends from last fall when we just barely got the pavement done in time for our good friend Old Man Winter to come along. So that's sealing joints, landscaping, putting bricks in. MPW has been down there putting the lights in, that sort of work. Iowa to Chestnut is open and will remain open. And the piece from Sycamore to Mulberry, all the underground work is in. They are working. I may have just lied to you. I think all the underground work is in. If it's not, it's very close. There's one electrical conduit vault that needs to be set down there. And that underground work, like I said, will be done or is done. And they're going to start, well, actually, they have already started on bringing the grade up to pave. And you should see that activity starting real soon here, now that the weather has changed. They have also started on, they did a small little stage on Orange and 2nd, where they closed that down, did some utility work there. So the utility contractor, now that he's done with the underground work, is moving over onto 2nd Street. We've had multiple meetings with H&I Corp there to talk about, access in and out, access for their shareholders meeting, which I think is this week or next week, somewhere, anyhow. And that stage, we changed the staging there to make room for that meeting. So that work is progressing forward. One of these days, very soon, we're going to be done with that work on that first stage. And then we're going to bite off the big chunk, which is actually closing down the Oak Street and 2nd intersection, which will be a bigger deal than what we currently have. And we would request everybody's utmost patience when that happens, because that will cause more traffic and more traffic backups. So we want to make sure everybody understands that they need to be patient and safe, and we'll get through it as quick as we can. Anything else?
So
Did I miss something?
We're anticipating Sycamore to Mulberry being open in the next 6 weeks.
Sycamore to Mulberry, yes.
Okay, and then
God willing, and the creek don't rise.
Okay, so we're going to have Broadway to Iowa. Then that'll be open in the next 2.
It'll be open a week from tomorrow.
Maybe a week from now. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
So then, and then from Mulberry to the floodgates, that'll be the portion that we will have potentially till November.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Yes.
As long as he's up there.
Yes, please, go ahead.
Several weeks ago, we had a discussion about issues with Mulberry, or with Mississippi Drive project, with the architect.
Issues.
Designers, Bolton Mink. And they kind of said that they would work on seeing if they could extend the right turn lane from Cedar back toward
Yes.
Sycamore. Are you aware of any action in that?
Yes. Yeah.
Which is what then?
I mean, it's incorporated into the design now. Yes, it's done. It's just done on paper because they're doing that paving right now, but it's done. And I would like to remind everybody that actual lane goes in two pieces. That slip lane for that right turn goes in two pieces. They're going to put as much of it in as they can put in now, but then we're going to have to wait for the power poles to come off the riverfront for the rest of that to be completed, because those power poles are going to be one of the last things that happens there. So it will take a while for that to be completed, but yeah, that's done, along with some other changes that came about from that meeting.
Well, I'm happy to hear that because everybody knows I was concerned about lack of being able to make right turns across a railroad crossing and stacking room. So I'm happy to hear that's progressing.
Okay.
Thank you, Jim. Councilman Salcedo, did you have anything else?
I will be gone in the first meeting of the month of May.
Okay.
And that'll be all.
All right, thank you. Councilwoman Brockert?
Yes, I would like to thank Laura Legis and my very dependable husband, Charlie, for helping me pick up trash in the ditch on Tuesday. We managed to nearly fill a dumpster, so we were very pleased, but there's still more work to be done.
Thank you. Anything else?
No.
All right. Councilman Malcolm?
Nothing tonight, Your Honor. Thank you.
Councilman Brackett?
And nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Staff, did you have anything?
We do have one thing, and I'll let Dave, we had some preliminary good news today, and I'll let Dave share it with you.
Thank you, everyone. I will have more details tomorrow, but we heard from the state today regarding the opportunity zones in our application. We submitted 3 different census tracts, and we'll have some more information on that. Technically, I'm not supposed to reveal much more than that tonight, and I got permission to even reveal that much tonight. Treasury Department has issued some sort of press release overnight tonight sometime, and tomorrow morning I should hear something from the state with their own press release. We've prepared one for ourselves too. So I've got some preliminary good news to share through that method and to the citizens of the city. So and to investors that want to invest in these particular areas. So let's keep our eyes peeled to the postings on the city's site or city's Facebook page, and we'll be sending out a press release to the area media anyway.
Thank you, Dave.
Okay.
We'll always take good news. I just had a couple of things. First of all, I'd like to start by thanking John at Water Pollution Control Plant and Adam at the airport and Rich with Parks and Rec. They took a couple of us around on Monday, very, very cold Monday, I might add, and spent the day with us, and we learned all kinds of nuggets of information, and thank you for giving your time to us. Next, I'd like to remind everyone that next Wednesday, we're having the job fair at the high school from 4 to 6, and it's for youth to get summer jobs. So I'm working with Iowa Workforce Development. They've worked very hard, have a lot of employers lined up. Bring out your students, send your students. They can line up their summer job right there and then. Gives all kinds of good things, and we know that those are lessons learned. A lot of us have fond memories from our first summer jobs and carry those skills that we learned with us today. Next, I'd like to remind everyone that we have Coffee with the Mayor next Saturday, not this coming, at 9 o'clock in the morning at Happy Joe's. And Monday starts Spring Cleanup Week. So it's going to be a really busy week around our city. Please know also that the next 2 Saturdays, not this one, the next 2, is the time that you can drop off things all through the week. You can take your tires, you can take your electronics for no cost, but also on Saturdays there are extended hours that you can do that for those 2 Saturdays. And please be aware as you're going around, driving around the neighborhoods this next week, be patient and be careful, keep your eyes open. The city staff works really hard to bring this service to our community. It's something that all communities don't get, so we're very fortunate that we have this opportunity and this service provided. So let's be patient, let's keep our eyes peeled to make sure that we don't have any accidents, and have a really good spring cleanup week. We're looking forward to it. Congratulations to Muscatine Travel. They moved basically across the street, but we had a nice ribbon cutting there on Wednesday, and it's a really nice location that they're in. Congratulations to all of them. Remember, next week we have no meeting. Hope everybody's enjoying that. The weather has made a little bit of a turn, and let's hope that it stays that way. We have started a new show here for the city called Our City, meeting on Tuesday nights at 6:30. You can find it on the city's Facebook page, the city's YouTube page, and it's replayed on Channel 9 on cable. So this past Tuesday we talked about Spring Cleanup Week and learned all the rules and what you can do and what you can't do. Give me a call if you have any questions about that. Next Tuesday night we are going to be having Melanie Alexander with the Art Center, and she's going to come and talk to us about all the wonderful pieces that we have. Another thing that Muscatine can be very proud of. And we're also going to have Jody Hansen with the Convention and Visitors Bureau. Second Saturdays are going to be starting, and a lot of our summer programming. So lots to share and tell the community. I hope everyone has a good weekend. And with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We are adjourned. I'm trying to talk to for 45